Yo, yo, yo. What's good, big dog? Today is Wednesday, April 21st. No, hold on. What's the day? Let me stop tripping. Wednesday, April 22nd. Okay, y'all. Bear with me. Getting my bearing. I was supposed to knock out this show yesterday. I didn't. So I'm knocking out today. Um, but yeah, the title of today is What's Done in the Dark Comes Out in the Light. Um, this episode is meant to raise awareness. It's meant to make you uncomfortable. It should make you uncomfortable. Even if you're doing everything right, this one should still put you on your toes about how we can do things better. It is it's one of those ones with personal accountability is involved in there. You may not like this one. You will not like this one. But you need it. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's for a family member or a friend. Maybe it's for uh the agency near you, the police, the military. But somebody need to hear this today. What's done in the dark comes out in the light. I will explain in more detail as the show progresses. This morning, I want to first start by bringing credit to the puppy on the screen. The puppy is Pitwise Kennels, Lady London. She won our puppy of the week contest, which is now the puppy of the month contest. I see there are so many entries in there right now. I am exceedingly excited for you all. If you want to enter, it is free to enter. You just have to find our WhatsApp, and if you're interested in that, just let me know, and we can get it taken care of. I have multiple forms of social media, all of which are known as Samurai Kennel, uh, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm not one of those people that just sits on the online to answer questions. So I'll get to them in turn. So if you want to get involved, you want to send a message earlier and not later, okay? But I'll get to you eventually. All right. The dog of the month, dog of the week right now is Garner's Broly. This dog right here, man, beat my dog. Beat my dog in the show. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to him and shout out to the work they're doing to make these dogs look so good. Croc Bull, Kennels in the building. Salute, big dog. Tony with the membership renewal. Salute, big dog. Heart and Finish Kennels was good. And nothing in the world. Welcome. All right. As y'all know, I support a lot of different dog activities for positive and legal activities. One of which is the Howard Heinzel Memorial Show for Trapper Days in Taylor, Arizona. This show is near and dear to my heart. I've met a lot of good dog men at this show, and I want to keep the show positive and keep it going. So I want to make sure y'all are aware of this show if you're in the Arizona, New Mexico, Texas area, Oklahoma, Nevada. It's driving distance for y'all. Come on out and check out the Trapper Days Memorial Show. We got the pit pull competition coming up June 20th in Peoria, Arizona as well. It is a weight pull competition. If you want to get involved, the information is on the screen. You can screenshot it, do whatever you need to get the information. It's also you can look up the Pit Bull store, and they have the flyer there. That's the actual host of this show. For the show Pitbull. Also in Aledo, Texas, on May 30th, you have a fun show in Aledo, Texas. Get out there and support the Texas Lone Star State APBT Club. They're always doing work and putting on shows. Some sanctioned, some not sanctioned, but They're always putting in work to make these dogs have something to do. Keeping them employed is the best way to keep them active. It's the best way to keep them as the dogs we love intact. Intact. So yeah, man, those are the shows that are available to you. And I hope that you are able to make it out to shows in your area if you're on the East Coast. My focus is basically on Texas and the West Coast because that's where I primarily reside. Um, and if y'all have East Coast shows, you can send them in and I can post them on here as well. All right, y'all. So that's the show news for this morning. I hope it resonates. I hope it hits home. I hope somebody benefits from knowing about these shows. I hope that I can meet you at the Trapper Days show here in Taylor, Arizona. I've been going there pretty much annually since I've been here. It's a great show, great opportunity to just get out and fellowship with more people that like the Bulldog, more people that like the Bulldog, enjoy the Bulldog, and represent the Bulldog well. All right. Now to our actual show for this morning. What's done in the dark comes out in the light. This is to talk about those dogs that become yard ornaments, they rot away in cages, and as the thumbnail insinuates, they look great when there's lights and cameras on, but what's really going on with these animals, y'all? What's the dark side of performance dogs? That's our topic for today. Let me drive y'all through this neighborhood. Let's roll. You ever notice how some dogs live two completely different lives? When people are watching, when the camera is on, when the judge is standing there, that dog is everything. Head up, coat shining, handler locked in, presence, power, and pride. But when the show ends, the crowd leaves, and the lights go out, that same dog goes right back into a box. No conversation, no engagement, and no life. This talk this morning is about that dog. The one that looks just like a champion in public, but lives like a ghost in private. Let's talk about this concept for a second, y'all. Not a working dog, not a companion, not even really a partner, a prop, a dog that exists for moments, not for a life. Let's think about this for a second. Let me paint this picture for you. It's a snow day. Correction. It's a show day. The dog gets washed, brushed, detailed. Every inch of the animal is cared for because it hasn't been seen. People are watching. Phones are out. Handlers are judging silently. The dog gets attention, energy, focus for hours. Then what happens after that? Yellow one was good, big dog. What happens after that dog gets that energy, focus, and attention? That same dog goes back home. That same dog goes back to the yard, the kennel, the crate, and suddenly silence. No walk, no stimulation, no engagement, just existence. The sad part, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't rare. This is common. The sad part is winning gives the illusion of care. Here's the uncomfortable truth: looking cared for and being cared for are not the same. Every morning when I talk to y'all, there's a lesson that transcends dogs. Think about your relationship with your significant other, your children, the family that is actual family and not just relatives. Now I'm going to read this statement again. Looking cared for and being cared for are not the same thing. The dog is God spelled backwards. Everything and all things through him. As I discuss this, I want you to watch or listen to this part and run it back. First, think about in its actual form, the dog that I'm speaking about. And then think about the nature of a relationship. A dog can be in perfect physical shape, well fed, clean, and muscular, and still be completely neglected because it isn't just physical, it's mental, it's emotional, it's environmental. Now I'm going to flip this. Let's think about a relationship. A relationship can look perfect from the outside. Both people can look happy. They can look unblemished. They can look healthy and still be completely in turmoil. Because love isn't just imagery, it's a mental connection, it's an emotional connection, and it's the environment that's generated by two happy people. Back to the dogs, y'all. Human lesson for the day rides right along with the dog lesson. Let's break it down. A dog's brain doesn't shut off just because you're done with it. The animal still needs interaction, problem solving, movement, and purpose. When everything disappears, you don't just get a bored dog, you get a deteriorating one. Now, riding away doesn't always look the same for every animal. It looks differently because this dog is obviously something special. What it actually looks like is when we say a dog is left to rot, we're not always talking about the physical decay. We're talking about their mental erosion. Things like repetitive behaviors, pacing, spinning, fence running. That's not energy. That's frustration with nowhere to go. Some dogs experience shutdown behavior. The dog stops reacting. It stops engaging. It stops looking calm. but it's not calm. It's checked out. Explosive reactions. Dogs that are quiet all day until it ain't, because pressure builds with no release. Loss of identity. The dog that looked alive in the ring now looks empty on the yard. That's what happens when your dogs only exist for those types of moments. That's what happens when a dog only exists for those types of moments. The weekend champion. There's a dog called Titan. Every weekend, Titan is unstoppable, confident, sharp, dialed in. The crowds love him. But Monday morning, Titan goes back into a kennel run, no toys, no variation. Same view, same routine. By Wednesday, he's pacing. By Friday, he's over aroused before he even leaves the yard. And by Sunday, he performs again like nothing happened. That's not balance. That's survival between performances. There is another dog besides Titan, though. This is your dog, I hope. This is the invisible dog. The invisible dog doesn't get the spotlight. He never gets to a show, but every day he gets walked, he gets trained, he gets engaged, he gets spoken to. That dog doesn't need to shine for crowds because it lives fully every day. Now, you tell me which dog is actually winning, Titan or the invisible dog? Now, let's be real, y'all. I kind of went kind of ham on y'all about Titan and those type of dogs. I'm not telling you that showing dogs is wrong or anything like that. Like, I just want to raise some awareness because I believe you can kind of see it, and I don't want that to be a thing. And that's not saying it's neglect. You're not neglecting their health. They're getting fed. They're getting a little bit of interaction, but it's not enough, and it manifests into negative behaviors. Anyways, why this happens? Let's not pretend any of this was accidental. There are reasons people do this. Ego driven ownership. The dog becomes a reflection of status and not responsibility. Time mismanagement. People invest in dogs, but not in time. Misunderstanding what dogs need. Some people think food, water, and shelter equal done. That's survival. That's not living. Chasing moments over consistency. The ring, the post, the attention. That's the reward. The day-to-day stuff, cleaning up poop, talking to them, making sure they can tell by your tone of voice if you're happy or sad, noticing if they got a new scratch. The day-to-day, it gets ignored. the standard shift. If you're serious about dogs, you have to raise the standard. A real neo dog man or woman does not just show up when it's time to perform. They show up every day. That means daily structure, daily interaction, daily purpose. Because the truth is simple. You don't own a moment. You own a life. At the end of the day, anybody can make a dog look good for a few hours. Anybody can do that. That's not impressive. What matters is what happens when nobody's watching. When there's no judge, no camera, no applause. That's where real ownership lives. So the next time you see a dog shining in public, ask yourself, what does that dog's life look like in the dark? Because that's the truth. So today, y'all, I've covered what's done in the dark comes to the light. This episode should hit everybody differently. Maybe you're doing everything that you need to do. Maybe you're the person like me that always finds truth even in things you don't like. Maybe at the end of the day, just maybe, the dogs actually benefit from this conversation being had. It is extremely important to realize that basically, unless you live with your dogs uncaged, where they could be around you 24/7, go to work with you, travel with you to the store, in the car, pretty much everywhere, even on vacation, there's still room to grow your relationship with your animal. And no, I'm not telling you have to do everything with your dog. I'm just saying if you don't, there's always room to grow the relationship. There's always room for things to be lighted up. And I'm not saying lighted up by exposed to the public, because ain't nobody's business what you do with your dog. What I'm saying is maybe the dog gets one more ride this week than what it did last week in your car with you. Maybe you take a new path to walk on a walk with your dog that's just a little bit longer. Maybe the dog gets one extra treat this week. Excuse me. Maybe, just maybe, you cop a hide from Samurai Kennel and let that dog tug a war with that hide. Or maybe this show is beneficial to you and you hit that like, subscribe, and share button to make sure you get all the notifications and that more people like you can see this show. Had to do that shameless plug in there, fellas and ladies. But yeah, I think about it now and I'm like, yeah, maybe I can add 5 to 10 more minutes of play in a different portion of the day that I don't have with my dog right now. Just that 5 to 10 more minutes is going to expand. And I'm not telling you to change your whole life and like rewrite your regimen for your dogs, because it, like, a routine for the dog, even if it's a crappy routine, it's still a routine. So when you're changing these things about your life or your dog, make sure you do them with moderation. Moderation is extremely important. Um, if you completely just flip the scale, you could cause a little bit of stress on that dog. That also could cause acting out. Boredom can cause acting out, but also the lack of stability can cause acting out. So just be aware of that. Be a good steward of your animals. Practice change moderation with everything. Even when it comes to dogs' food, you gotta practice change moderation. So, yeah. Are there any questions at this point? Let me see. There's no questions. I'm gonna put the link in the chat real quick for y'all. Anybody want to pop on there? Do that right there. Okay. Yeah. If there's any questions about this topic is near and dear, because, like I said, you can always call somebody out on this one. Somebody can always call you out on this one. You're not going to get a perfect answer. It's not intended for it to be perfect. It's intended for continual improvement, continuous process improvement. That's what we're looking for here. And if we don't get continuous process improvement, you're not improving. It just wafts off. It just wafts off. But yeah, that's it for my notes. Everybody, I appreciate those y'all that came out, gave a shout out in the chat. Thank you so much. If I didn't see you, if I didn't get you, it's not intentional. I don't mean any harm. I just I can only see what pops up on StreamYard. I can only see the comments that come up on StreamYard. So I have to go back to the actual live and look at the live to see who was present, who wasn't present. It's live on 2 different YouTube channels right now. On Samurai K9, I'm building my watch time hours. I would prefer you watch from over there, so that I can build those watch time hours over there. When I get back to my home my home duty station, I'll be putting some more actual dog footage on there. As y'all know, we're getting ready for a dog show, and my dogs do not just come off the leash for a dog show. There's a lot of work and time put into them. Their diet has changed for a dog show, and we want to excel. We want to do well. So, yes, it's extremely important that this episode transcend just the ideology and topics of dogs, so that grown men and women realize that the same habits that make you a good dog person are the same habits that will make you consistent in a relationship. I'm not saying they're gonna make your relationship successful. I'm saying they're gonna make you consistent. You get up and you show up every day. You feed that relationship. You clean up the crap in that relationship. You make sure that you treat the yard, or you treat the environment for that relationship to grow. Everything that I'm talking about with these dogs, you can apply to a relationship. Everything. And our goal at Shogun Unlimited, our goal at Samurai Kennel is to build better animals through building better people, and to build better people through building better animals. Literally, you take the actual action of taking care of a dog, and then you make it into a metaphor and apply it to life, and I guarantee you find benefit. You take your annual vaccinations, rabies, 5-way, 10-way, whatever it is you do, and you say, okay, annually, I do something to inoculate and clean out my relationship at least once a year, right? It'll keep your dog in a better health. It'll keep it safe from diseases like parvo. It'll keep it safe from things like rabies, which also in Pima County, Arizona, they found, I think, a raccoon and a coyote so far that had rabies. So if you do not have your rabies shot, you want to get that updated. My wife is the one that's made me aware of that. So that's just something to be involved in and stay consistent about. Okay. But yeah, y'all. So we're approaching that 30-minute mark. I've got off my chest what I need to get off my chest for today. I can go into work with peace and clarity of mind. So I'm going to go and do my Christian watchword, and we're going to get up out of here. May the Lord watch between you and me while we're absent one from another. Amen. For the love of the dogs, for the love of the game. Peace.
Yeah, they wasn't with me when it wasn't no shine. Now they pop up like, bro, we aligned. Lie on my name, let the rumors ride. That ain't my people, that ain't my kind. Samurai Kennel, we built off cold. You either solid or you fold. If you ain't speak when my name got dragged, don't say my name when I get that bad. Yeah, they was cool when the door stayed open. Soon as it closed, they started joking, smiling at pics, talking behind back. Same one tricking off the contacts. Use my name for their little clout runs, then play dumb when the truth come. Spread fake stories, half-ass facts. Now it's quiet when I double back. I don't argue, I let time talk. Same dudes broke while I still walk. Same lane, same code, no disguise. You showed your hand, I read them lies. They wasn't with me when it wasn't no shine. Now they pop up like, bro, we